Hey disc golfers, it's Evan here from Bestor Disc Golf, and today we're doing a disc review on the brand new Discraft Esp Athena. For today's disc golf review, we have 4 discs, which include 2 First Run Athenas, a Prototype Athena, and just a normal Esp Stalker. But less talking, let's go chuck them in the field. And we made it to the field. We're going to start off with some flat shots to see the true flight of these discs. First run, we got a First Run Athena. You can tell this thing wants to hold dead straight, but will have that consistent fade at the end, which is really nice. Second up, we got the Proto Athena, and I get in the way of it a little bit, but you can tell this thing is absolute meat hook, just wants to go to the left, nothing else. And we're comparing it with this Stalker, and I hit this on a little bit of a lower line, but you can tell that all it wants to do is turn to the right. It doesn't really have that integrity to get back like the Athenas do. For these shots, I'm going to hit them on anhyzer, and this one I really wrenched on. I wanted to get it high with a lot of turn, and so you can see how it fights out, and you can tell at the very end there, it does come out of it, which is good to know and great to see. Next up, we got this Proto Athena. And this one, I knife on an anhyzer on a lower angle, and you can tell this thing came out of it. I mean, that's a hard angle to get out of on a disc, and this thing did it with ease. Next up, we're throwing back the opposite way, which is coming into a headwind, so you can definitely tell on these shots. Look at this First Run Athena, hit it out there on a good flat angle, and this thing just drift to the right. It did have the integrity to come back, which is the moral of the story here. But that's a good flight. We're going back-to-back First Run Athenas here. This one I'm definitely getting on a lower line. You can see this thing just wants to hold to the right. It doesn't cut roll into the ground or anything. It just wants to pan out. It's a nice flight. Next up, we got the Stalker here. And this one I had to hit on a higher line because these things don't handle the wind as well as the Athenas do. This one is holding to the right the entire time, and it's just not giving that reliable fade at the end. Now, what you guys have been waiting for, some full power shots. I'm ripping on the Athena here. This thing is drifting over to the right just slightly, having that consistent fade like they always are. It's probably about just shy of 400 feet. Next, we got the Stalker, and you can tell this one just wants to hold to the right. But I'm going to do a whole review of the disc, so I'll meet you guys at the booth. See you there. After throwing these discs in the field on different angles, using different power, I've come to one big conclusion. And that is that this disc is amazing. This disc is so awesome, and it is going to be absolutely perfect for all different types of skill level. For your beginner player, this thing is going to be, that straight to overstable fairway driver that you need in your bag. And for the more advanced players, it's going to be an absolute staple in your bag for straight, understable, overstable shots. I found that this disc is pretty neutral, and for me, most of those shots were going about 350 to 400 feet, and this thing is handling the torque. I can get it on a hyzer flip. I can throw it flat and let it turn over. I can get it on some hyzer. This disc is good on any angle. And I used to throw the Stalker for this slot, but it's getting thrown out of the bag because these things are going in. I realized that the Proto is way more overstable than the First Runs. And because when I was throwing this Proto, even into the headwind, as you can see, this thing was going straight and not flipping over, while the First Runs were getting that turn into the headwind. But it's cool because I'll be able to keep the Proto in the bag for the more overstable and keep these in for that straighter shot. But these First Runs are going to be absolute workhorses in the bag, and they're going to be getting me birdies all over the place. I hope this disc review helped you a lot, and I hope you understand how great this disc is and if it will fit into your bag. And if it does, go pick one up at discraft.com or any of your local retailers. Thanks for listening.